All right, welcome everybody to the Friday show, Tuss Talk with Ty. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys, even the haters, even the people who I've made mad because of my appearance on Mark Rogers. I'm looking at you, Kyle Spicer. Probably the biggest crybaby I've ever seen in my life in a YouTube comment section. No lie. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Drum roll. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to Tuss Talk with Ty. I do appreciate, like I said, I do appreciate you guys for coming through. Patreon supporters. Yeah, not here without you guys. The show's sponsor, Apex Tattoo Studio, as well. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. All you guys making it work. Remember, if you guys are looking to get inked up, my boys at Apex, they'll hook you up, man. I encourage you guys to go check out some of the work. There's a couple of pictures in there, or a couple of some of their art that they've done. It's on Discord. You can just go down to the sponsors on the left side of the Discord column. It's right down there underneath direct service overhead. They're located at 615 West Oak Street in Rogers, Arkansas. 72756. Give them a call today. Set up your appointment. 479-278-2694. Again, that's 479-278-2694. Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Yay! Bobby Petrino on Family Weekend. It doesn't get much better than that, does it? It's man, it really is 10 years. Like, we've been waiting for this. Like, there's some fans. I have talked to people. I talked to someone at the tailgate for Cincinnati, week 1. He said, I'm here today. I'm going to be here next week. But the game I'm most excited about is Bobby Petrino when he comes into town the following week. Again, that was 2 weeks ago. My man was talking about this 2 weeks ago. He was more excited for that. And he's like, and by the way, I'm going to Arlington. I'm going to be here for Bama. And he goes, yeah, of course I'm excited for Bama. Potentially the number one at the time, number one team in the country. Still, assuming they don't pull a stunt like they did last year and lose to A&M kind of early on in the year. But everyone's excited about the typical games, right? But this dude, and he wasn't the only one. There's several people at that same tailgate who were like, yeah, that's our game. They already had neck braces. I hope I find them. I hope I see them. They said they don't always have the same tailgating spot, so I'm hoping I run into them again. Yeah, so Petrino weekend. That's why that's the thumbnail. That's why Petrino gets the thumbnail. Let's go to chat. Oh, this is going to be fun. Flamingo Friday. I didn't wear the Flamingo shirt. I'm sorry, Ramon. I'm sorry. Do me a favor. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Hello, darling. John Hawes, moderator. How you doing, my friend? Here we go. Kyle Spicer. This guy has gone through. Listen, I'm going to give him credit for the consistency. At least he's consistent, but he's hopping around from video to video just coming at me, and that's fine. I embrace it. Trust me. He says, worst. So I'm the worst uneducated host of any podcast. Ridiculous. I think Kyle Spicer reminds me a lot of the elite defensive line guy, except the elite defensive line guy who I made mad, by the way, on Mark Rogers' show. We've got another one. I said, and this was pre-2021, I said the 2021 defensive line for Arkansas is suspect. I was pretty harsh on him. I said, on top of that, you're running a 3-man front. They're thin here. There's not a lot of talent. I'm not real trusting of these Mizzou transfers. Trey Williams looked to get off to a quick start last year, but he quickly, as the year went on, he didn't do much. And I know he kind of ran into some injuries here and there, but still, there wasn't much to be impressed with that defensive line. They didn't feel very confident. This year, you could tell there's a difference. This year, they're going to mix it up. They're going to run multiple fronts, as we've already seen. I made that guy so mad. He was in Mark Rogers' comment section slinging only because of a disagreement on the defensive line. And then later, he comes over here and he does the same thing. And then eventually he kind of sticks around. And in fact, he still comes through to some of the shows. And from what I've seen, I think he's been mostly respectful. I don't know if we'll get that out of Kyle Spicer. I don't know. He seems kind of like a douche. I mean, we'll see if he comes around. Let's get it. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Will Lennox. Am hopeful Hogs come out of this healthy. Come out of this game healthy. That depth gets some XP, get some experience. I see what you're saying. We can use this as a springboard to really whoop A&M. Yeah, I think you've hit something right on the head there. You got to come out of this weekend healthy. You've got to come out. I mean, that's the thing that matters the absolute most. You want to get the win. You want to do something Sam Pittman's done a pretty good job of, which is, outscoring the spread, beating the spread. He's done a pretty good job of that over the last 3 years, especially the last 2 years. We'll see. I think I'm not even going to go in on the spreads. I'm not even there yet. I refreshed it. I haven't actually checked this morning what the spread's at. I'll do that maybe here in a little bit. But I agree, Todd. They need to come out of this thing healthy. Aiden Grossman says the same thing. Stay healthy and get the W tomorrow. That's what matters the most. If they don't beat the spread, let's say they only manage to beat them by 14, 17 points, there might be some pause for concern depending on the circumstances. There might be something we need to look at there. Or it could just be, they went out in the second half, primarily played their 2 deep and their 3 deep. They really ran like we see a lot of Christopher Poo-Paul in the third quarter. Woodard, who's a former walk-on at linebacker. Maybe you see some of the youngins in the secondary. Maybe we don't get Slusher, even though he's listed as a starter on the depth chart at all this game. Who knows? So that is something to consider. Maybe the offensive line is a mix of 1s and 2s as the game carries on, and you can kind of slowly see that. Oh, okay, we're struggling because we're not running with our usual guys. So, but listen, there is a method to the madness, which is staying healthy. I've allowed your John says to Kyle, I've allowed your comment just so you can get drug. Yeah, don't delete it. Don't delete it. Hog's going to have 250 yards passing and 300 yards rushing. I'd take that. Ty is just a beautiful man. I appreciate that, Ramon. That's really sweet. That's really nice. You guys are going all in on the guy. I think he probably already bounced. Sometimes they come in just to be shitheads. They really strongly disagree with something I say, maybe a couple things I say. They come in, they want to, spew their nonsense, and then they bounce. And that's fine. Maybe he's still in here. I don't know. I'm going down chat. I appreciate the kind words, though, guys. Josh Garr says dope intro. Yeah, I kind of threw that together this morning, actually, while I was waiting on some other stuff to get done. Kind of threw it together. I'm missing some other videos. I meant for those slides to be a little faster, a little bit faster pace. But unfortunately, I couldn't find those other videos. I couldn't clip them, and I didn't have that kind of time to do all that. So they're like maybe 4 clips. That's it. I wanted more, but, maybe next time. You're mad because your podcast only has like 2 subs. And that's your mom and dad. Oh, my God. Is he on a pod? Is that a thing? Is this another pod guy coming in here and shit talking? Is that what this is? I've never heard of Kyle Spicer. I've never heard of him. If he has hey, let me listen to your podcast. I mean, maybe you do better than me. I don't know. I don't pretend to be like I'm the best at this. I just flap my gums and hope people enjoy the content. That's all I do here. I think it's done pretty well. I don't know that we're ever going to hit 1 million views. It's going to be tough, especially with me splitting time between here and Hogville. It's so much harder to get there, and I'm you guys know I'm keeping up with the content. I'm trying to keep at least 2 videos a week here, 2 lives a week. I would love to do more. You can come in here and talk your interactions help find the show. I see what you're saying. So me and Ty, thank you. You keep the show going for the rest of us. Yeah. Yeah. I think he scramble? Because I'm looking down chat here and I don't even see him responding. Yeah, he bolted. See, that's what I kind of respect the guys who come in, maybe they talk a little shit, and then they don't bounce, they stick it out. I kind of respect that to a degree. Now, it also depends on what they say. You know your show is the best part of my workday, bro. I appreciate that, Josh Farmer. A lot of Joshes lately, man. We've added like 2 new Joshes in Discord. We added a Josh in our Patreon. Josh Farmer, appreciate you coming by, man. Look forward to your shows, Ty. Thanks for what you do, brother. Man, Josh, I'm happy I can provide you with a little bit of escapism. My God, do we have so much escapism this weekend. It's fantastic. It is so fantastic. This time of year, oh my Lord. Like, work is an afterthought for people when I talk to them. Like, I don't even think about that. I'm obsessed with Razorback football, and then we've got basketball, and then baseball is going to be great, of course. What's up, Ty? Great live yesterday on Hogville. I appreciate you, man. I thank you, Ash. Yeah, DJ Williams stopped by. Not bad for the worst uneducated host, huh? Not bad. Working for Hogville, Net, YouTube, building their YouTube. They reached out to me, wanted me to help them build that thing up. Oh, and then I get to interview people like Otis Kirk, Dudley Dawson, Kevin McPherson, DJ Williams. There's more on the way. We're going to have to figure out a schedule. That's not bad, huh? I think that's all right. If I can pat myself on the back, as long as Mr. Kyle Spicer will allow it, that's not too bad. Hope we don't take this game lightly, says M. Houston. I'd hate for an upset to happen to us. Ooh, that's bad juju, but I hear you, brother. I hear you. Let's get up 28-0 and take out most of the starters to an extent. Need to get out of this game injury-free for the Aggies. Yes, I agree. We used to call this game a trap game. I don't know why we don't do that anymore, but these can be trap games. But I think the reason why you don't hear that around Fayetteville as much because Sam doesn't take anybody lightly. He just doesn't. That's not to say that there's some games that you kind of scratch your head a little bit. But then when you really look at some of the underlying issues in those games, it wasn't because Sam overlooked anybody. It's because they were late in they were slowly approaching their bye week. They were banged up. The refs screwed them. That's happened. I don't see him overlooking these guys. Now, do they get off? What kind of start do they get off to? Right, that's the big question here. Do they get off to a quick? Like someone said in chat, do they get off to this 21, 28-point lead? Listen, they could have had I think that was a 3+ score lead on South Carolina if things go Arkansas's way and they don't get a couple of BS flags. I want to see Malik at quarterback. I think there's a shot at that. I really do. You're worth having 1 million views, Ty. Golly, I appreciate the positivity in the comment section. The Hog president in 1991. I appreciate that, man. Ty Ty might have that homeless look, but damn, if he's our favorite homeless hog podcaster, honestly, dude, you're killing it. Oh my God. That's good. Oh, that's good. I like it. Oh, that was great. My wife is going to get a kick out of that. I told her today I'm going to get a haircut. I promise I'm going to get a haircut. And it's it took so long. I had to render the DJ Williams video today. I wanted to get that out on Hogville, which, by the way, if you guys are curious about DJ, because I've had so many people talk about that part of the interview. I had Dudley, and Dudley killed it too, by the way. Don't overlook Dudley with some really good content in the first half of that video. But DJ, I've had a lot of people compliment the DJ Williams stuff, so I've posted his segment. It's 29 minutes. That's up and available on Hogville if you guys want to go check that out. Oh my God. Oh, I can't wait. My wife is going to get a kick out of that. That was fantastic. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, feel free to go into the Patreon and become a member of that. All right, we have to get caught up on that too really quick before we really dive into this game. Hang on just a second. Give me a minute. I left something in the living room. Let me go grab that really quick. I'm going to show you guys the Patreon screen. Oh, Lord. I didn't mean for that intro to play. But I will give me just a second. I'm going to go grab something to show you guys. I'll be right back. All right. Okay. All right. I got. This is what I'm going to show you guys. All right. We've talked about this. We're doing stickers, right? You see that logo right there. You see that? You know that's the logo for Tuss Talk. You've probably, if you've been under a rock or you haven't been paying attention, I had to change the name from Pig Trail Network to Tuss Talk with Ty. I've been wanting to do stickers for a while. I ran to it was actually, I couldn't find them. They're in the garage still. So I was running. I'm too fat to be running through this little house. Here they are. Okay, these are the stickers. Now if you want one, you need to be a Patreon supporter. I went to the post office on Joyce. I'm gonna get my P.O. box set up at another location, but I bought these. Don't ask me how much I spent on all this crap. Just to ship these things. And here's the look at that. We're ready to roll, man. We've only got 5, I think, printed out. We're gonna try and print the rest out tonight. Again, you need to be a Patreon supporter. But if you want one, right, send me a DM either in Discord. I'm going to send out a reminder on Patreon. I'm hoping as soon as I'm done here, I do that. But I'll send out a reminder in the DMs on Patreon. You can respond on Patreon your address or your mailing address, wherever you want me to ship these to. Now, keep this in mind. If you plan on putting on one of these on your rear window, your on the back of your car, your rear window, you're going to want to go with white, right? So keep that in mind. Black will not show up. If you're putting it on your bumper sticker, if you're putting it on your bumper, you're going to want the black. Look at that. Shout out to my wife. Shout out. But this is really why I wanted to show you guys. Like, I'm not just saying this and not doing it. We are absolutely, we've got the envelopes. We're ready to roll. We're ready to knock these things out. So, again, join Patreon, and you get a sticker. And you can do whatever you want with it. And I also want to I want to print out some stuff that you can slap on, like your coffee mug, have some fun with it. All I got to figure out is how many stamps to slap on it should just be one stamp, right? I don't know. Anyways, that's going to try and get all this leveled out before Monday. Okay. I want scores. Give me your prediction tomorrow. Overwhelmingly, Arkansas fans are picking the Hogs to obliterate Missouri State. To obliterate them. I've seen scores as high as 50-3, and I'm telling you, I just don't see anything like that happening. Not with Petrino at the helm. No chance. No chance. Ty, what happened to the wrestling moves? Are we no longer tombstone pile driving the like button? I tell you what, Andrew. Why don't you stone cold stun the like button? There you go, brother. Get you a fade, Ty. I don't think a fade. I just don't think I would rep the fade very well. I appreciate the recommendation, though, Ramon. I want to see Hazelwood put a few more DBs on their back tomorrow. He is such a strong runner, man. He's so physical. Play the backups a lot. Keenwan Parker, who I do think is going to play a lot tomorrow. Parker is going to play. Tykes Crawford, Pooh, Centennia. This should be a great game for those backups to get a bulk of the load. Have to win the game first, but let's get it. Yeah, I agree. I think I would love – remember, it's 4 games until you burn your red shirt. 4 games. You can play 4 games now. It used to be 3 for the longest time. Now it's 4. Eventually it's going to get to it's going to get to 6. It's going to be half the season. Oh, you can play half the year and not burn your red shirt. I don't really – I guess I don't have an opinion on what I think, how they should do that. But, I mean, 4 seems fine. 4 games is plenty until they burn their red shirt. So this would be their opportunity. That's sick, bro. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, my wife, man, she got that done. She did a great job. We got to print out a whole bunch more. But, yeah, they need – I agree. Get out to a real nice, solid lead. I don't see them going up 4 scores and then just benching KJ. It feels like Sam Pittman doesn't want to underestimate Bobby Petrino and his ability to carve up your weaknesses. And something DJ talked about, Dudley's talked about it, and some other folks have talked about it, but I really loved DJ Williams' input yesterday and Dudley's input, which was Petrino works with what he has. He doesn't really have one system, which, I mean, it certainly seemed to be the case. Like when he was with Louisville, well, he ran that offense at Louisville. The Falcons, I just don't really count. He walked into a bizarre situation, all that stuff with Vic. It was strange. He never had a firm grasp on that team. And then he comes here and he runs almost the exact same kind of pro-style offense that he ran at Louisville the first go-around. And then, yeah, I mean, and the rest is history. Arkansas, thanks to, of course, eventually having someone like Ryan Mallett transfer in and really take over. And then his second year in 2010, he was fantastic. 2011, Tyler Wilson fit that system like a glove, or fit him like a glove. Really interesting to see a Petrino-led team run the kind of RPO that they do, or run the system that they run. I think you will see multiple sets on offense. Petrino's going to do everything he can. Wouldn't shock me at all if they come out and do stuff that Arkansas has just not seen on film. I think that's something. I think that's important to keep in mind. Petrino might be doing some stuff they have not seen on film yet, and that's weird to say because we're not talking about a P5 program. But Petrino has had this game circled since the day he found out they were playing Arkansas, and fans, Razorback fans have had this day circled. Missouri State beat UCA 27-14. Now, I know they went on the road last year and almost beat Oklahoma State. Josh Garr has Arkansas winning by 42, 52-10. God, if you keep them to 10 points, that's impressive. A lot of 50. Wow, another 52-10. Chris Bell says 52-10. Won't be close. If we put 40 on South Carolina, we could put 50 on Missouri State. I agree with that. No, that's absolutely accurate, but I think it's a different approach simply because of who you're playing and who you have coming up next. Like, you have to be mindful that it's Petrino, but you also have to be mindful of keeping guys healthy. So it may not mean we're going to rack the score up. We're going to put 50 points on, but that could happen. This thing could get completely out of hand for Missouri State quickly. And if those guys panic, I think it's going to be wild tomorrow. This team has never seen anything like what they've got going on with what's about to happen when they walk into Fayetteville. I'm telling you, it's a different vibe when you're down there on that field. It is. I was walking around. If you guys are at the game, I will probably be on the field walking around with somebody at least a half hour, if not earlier, before kickoff. I'm telling you, you can certainly feel it. And when South Carolina, I actually have footage of South Carolina running out of the tunnel, and it doesn't sound like I played it on my Facebook. I may have to share it somewhere. Maybe I'll put it in Discord or something later. But if you listen, you can't really hear the boos. Down on the field, though, that audio doesn't do it. It does not do justice to what actually happened. They're in for a treat. You should get a mullet tie. I don't think so, Aaron. I don't know, man. I don't want to mess with my hair very much. I would prefer to just shave it all off, if I'm being honest. This is a game where Hornsby has a chance to play a lot. His speed versus an FCS team will be ridiculous. Very well could be the case. Petrino's a great offensive mind. I expect them to have a game plan and know how to attack for the first few drives, especially defense. Should still be able to hold them to under 20, though, in my opinion. I think so. I could see that. I could see something like 17, or in a strange way, maybe 19 points. They kick a bunch of field goals. I don't know. I'll be there tomorrow, Ty. I'll probably be down on the field. I'm going to be roaming from tailgate to tailgate, taking footage of all the neck braces. I want to do a competition tomorrow. I want to see who has the best Bobby Petrino cosplay. God, that's weird to say. If you're tailgating, hit me up, man. Tell us where you're going to be at Hogville. Well, you could tell me. You could DM me, like, hey, Ty, I'm over here, lot 50, or over off lot 56, or I'm across the street down on Baum in that massive parking lot next to the old Campbell Soup Factory. Yeah, some of you OG Fayetteville people know what I'm talking about. That used to be the Campbell's Soup Factory, and then it was a Swanson Factory. Used to ride my bike up and down that part of the right next to before Baum was there. Actually, a lot of good memories. So many Pittmans, 3 to Bears, 90 mini Pittmans. Okay, all right, John Everett, sir, welcome. Yeah, and if you're new here, by the way, make sure you subscribe, share the content, make sure you hit the like button. I can't believe we're under 20 likes. That's incredible. We are sub 20 likes right now. How is that? Come on, y'all. We can rack that number up. I have faith in you. Let's see it go up above 20 likes. There's 17. There's 20. Boom. All right. Our next number's got to be 30. Can you make it happen? Make sure you share the content as well. Is Texas A&M beating Miami better or worse for Arkansas? That's a really good question. They're going to replace. They're replacing their boy. They're going with a quarterback change. I think we all saw that coming. We'll see if Johnson has it in him. I don't know. I just don't have much faith in their quarterback situation. I really don't. That's a good question, though. If they upset Miami, does that change the energy for their fans and for folks in College Station? Of course, you're not playing there. You're not going to be playing there, but it changes a lot. I agree. I think it makes for at least an interesting. You could look at it one of two ways, right? If Miami does beat A&M, and by the way, I have A&M winning this game. I'm not buying Miami. I've seen them play a little bit. I'm just not buying what's happening there. I think they're a good team, but it's hard for a non-SEC team. And I hate to say that after what happened last weekend with A&M. I really think that was just – I really wonder if Jimbo just didn't completely overlook Appalachian State. And I know that's a cop-out. You can call it that, but we've seen this so often where someone like that walks in and beats – I mean, it just happens. It's happened to Arkansas – whatever era you want to point to outside of maybe Houston Nutt and Bobby Petrino. But since then, John L., Brett Bielema, of course, you know who, all lost games they had no business losing. The sad part is I think Arkansas had such a mismanagement, especially under Chad Morris, where they couldn't recover. The question is, can Jimbo recover? I think they do. I think it's going to be close, I think. I'm so on the fence about this game. I want Miami to beat the hell out of A&M tomorrow. I do. I want them to squash them. I want them to walk in there and demoralize A&M. But I just feel like I don't know. I don't know. It's a gut instinct. I think A&M pulls it out one way or another. They figure it out. Maybe it's the quarterback change. I don't know. And there's something to be said about that. Now you got a different style at quarterback, but A&M's been through this before, man. It's taken them this long. It's taken A&M this long to get it figured out about what's going on at quarterback, and we still don't know that he's the answer, right? We don't know. It could be. We've seen it before, man. Like college football. This is what we love about college football. You can simply make a change at quarterback like that. and it work out and be fine. Then we've also seen it work the other way around where it's worse. So I don't know. I hate A&M more than Texas. I agree. I do. I hate A&M more than Texas. I do. You know, I was born in 83. I mean, yeah, I was alive with that rivalry, but I don't remember it. I get some of the, you know, the older crowd, people in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s. I get it, man. They have an absolute hatred of Texas. But I have a much stronger hatred of A&M. I want them to get blasted tomorrow. But I did pick A&M. Portal's wide open till week 4. Yeah, did you see they had everybody had to pull their name out of the portal? Did you guys see that? That's insane. And I don't know what purpose that serves. Maybe somebody can help explain that to me. Maybe Dudley can tell me what's going on with that, or Otis. We're going to have Otis Kirk on for the post-game show tomorrow. And then when he's done, when his segment's over with, we'll bring on Dudley Dawson. Who will have a better game, Rocket Sanders or KJ? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Do we have any more scores? If you haven't got your score in, please do so. Kate Dreyer says, dude, you have great locks. You tell me who is saying otherwise. I can rough them up. Kate's always here for the support. Kate is always here for the support. Dom, John, and Dub should light it up. Keep fresh legs on Rocket. I want to see. I tell you what would be ideal, and I know it's going to be a series by series scenario, but I would rather Arkansas split the carries evenly if they're able to, right? Give Rocket 10 carries. Dominic Johnson, assuming he's full go. He says he is. Pittman says he is. We thought he was last week. He was not in braces this week. I don't think he was last week either. I don't think Dominic – I can't remember. I don't think he had knee braces on last week either. I mean, he's should be full go. I want to see him, Rocket, A.J. Green – with a splash of Dominion, all with 10 carries. That's what I want to see. I want to see KJ's runs. He should not be at 18 carries in this game. I do not want to see him close to 18 carries. I don't want to see that. 10 carries, all those guys. Everyone just gets 10 carries across the board. See where you're at the end of the day. Grant Patrick says 70-27 Arkansas. Oh, my goodness. Leon Hayes says to expect the unexpected. I'm telling you, that's it, man. Hudson Clark with 3 picks. King the Dreamer says, no, you should definitely get a fade. Ty. Oh, I appreciate that, King. I just can't do it, though, man. 55-34, Josh Farmer says. 44-24 says Big L. I want to see Quincy or Mbake. Yeah, McAdoo. They really like McAdoo. They really like that kid. They bragged on him a couple times throughout fall camp. Sam Pittman did. And I've talked with some other folks that are very impressed with him through camp. Tusky 6693 says 45-17 Hogs. Rocket is on a great start. Yeah, leads the SEC in rushing yards. Kate says, love having all those backs rotating in. Keeps their D guessing. Ty should get some highlights in his hair. Yeah, man, I had frosted tips. I'm not even going to lie. 2003, sure did. 18, 19-year-old kid, I had the frosted tips. Sure did. Not even afraid to admit it. Isn't Clark moving to safety? Sam Pittman did talk about that. He talked about the possibility of moving him around. And how often have we been saying that? I said tack on about 15, 20 pounds if he can do that. If his frame can hold that, move him to OLB or maybe just tack on about 10 more. And maybe he doesn't need to gain weight for safety. He's actually a pretty stout kid. I've walked right by him. He is every bit of that 6'1.5", 6'2" frame they claim. He is a big dude. He looks like he could play safety. Doesn't have he's not like super duper up top power, right? Like he doesn't have the 27-inch pythons. He doesn't have that going on, but he's definitely a lot bigger than you would expect for a corner. Ty should get already read that. Clark should be a good fit at safety. I've always thought that, man. I don't think he's a bad DB at all. Manila United Methodist Church. Can we get you a Razorback hat? Well, I mean, does the Ram helmet not do it for you in the background? I'm an LA Ram fan. Okay, got to support my Rams too. Even if they were absolutely embarrassed last week. If we beat A&M next week, oh my Lord, the atmosphere for the Bama game. You're not lying, Patrick. Let's go into this game just a little bit. Looking at the depth chart, the only changes here, and there's not many. I glanced at this yesterday. Where was it? Yeah, you got Nathan Bax, who's been behind Trey Knox, and we saw Nathan Bax take the field last week. But it was on defense. Let's see, we got Stewart. Landon Jackson's behind him. Okay, let me tell you about Landon Jackson. During fastball last week, I'm almost positive I saw him line up with the ones. I'm almost positive I saw Landon Jackson line up with the ones. We know these depth charts don't mean a damn thing. They just don't. I mean, this happened. This was the case last year. I mean, I know that's not always true, but I have a hard time looking at these and taking them super serial. But Landon Jackson slowly but surely getting more playing time. And I think he's going to play a lot this weekend. I think you're going to see a lot of Christopher Paul, who lines up behind Drew Sanders, and I think you might even get to finally see more. Well, Jordan Crook has been on the field. All 6 foot, 232 pounds of him. That dude, I mean, he doesn't look like a true freshman. I'll say that. He doesn't. He doesn't play like one either. He looks good during fastball. I can't wait to see him get. Otis Kirk thinks he's going to be. I mean, you guys heard him. We have the clip on Hogville. He thinks he's the best linebacker, has the highest ceiling in this group. And that's saying a lot, I think, when you're talking about bumper pulling Drew Sanders, and then you got to throw in, of course, Pooh Paul. I've been impressed with Pooh Paul, and I'll be honest, he impressed me during fall camp. Like, I kept looking at the linebacker. I kept a real good eye on the linebackers during their individual workouts and during fastball, and they just look on top of things, right? Dwight McLaughlin is the change. I don't think he was listed as a starter last week. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bishop is behind him. That's your change. You've got Latavius Brinney, who, of course, is going to start. Rumor is you're going to see some Kari Johnson. Simeon Blair back at that safety. And then Hudson Clark, who's listed as the one who's listed as the number one corner on the other side. I think Kejuan Parker is going to play. Jaden Johnson, Kari Johnson. I don't know about Miles Slusher yet. I haven't made up my mind. Support the Rams on Rams Talk. Nah, bro. Sorry. Do that here. I don't have a Rams pod or Rams show. Wouldn't want to do one either. NFL fans are a different kind of crazy. They just are. Yeah, I when you look at the depth chart, not a lot of big changes. There's nothing here that's mind-blowing. I just kind of wonder what they actually look like. Do we see Trent Gordon, who's listed at the 2 spot behind Miles Slusher? Does Slusher start? Or is it Trent Gordon? Do they mix some things up here? It's going to be interesting to see how they line up in the secondary. And 2, do you really want to make a lot of changes this week? Do you want to show your hand before A&M? Do you want to save maybe some of the moves? Do you want to save the changes and the play calling? People are talking about airing it out against these guys. Do you really want to show your hand? I mean, you could make the argument that, well, yeah, because they need to work this stuff out on the field, and this is how you do it. True, alternate tie. You're not wrong. But I also don't want to give anything away. If I'm going to surprise anybody, I want it to happen on the week against a better opponent we believe is a better opponent. I mean, come on. A&M's better than Missouri State, all right? I could say that without laughing. Like, yes, they're better. What happened last week happened. Maybe they're not good on SEC. Maybe they're not an SEC caliber team this year, or maybe they bounce back. But I would rather, if you're going to really make some changes, if you're going to do some stuff, if you're going to air it out, and you're going to try and throw some different looking stuff. We also keep hearing, and I'm hearing this from local radio people, from other shows, other Razorback content creators, saying that every week they're kind of slowly opening up more of the playbook. I kind of hope that's the case, but at the same time, I've been really impressed with the offense. I really have. And taking another look at that South Carolina game, I'm glad I rewatched it, because Arkansas as hard as I can be on them, it's because I feel like in their secondary they should be further ahead than where they're at. I feel like the defensive line, talent-wise, is the best that it's been in probably 4 or 5 years. And we're finally seeing it. I want the secondary. I feel like the secondary should have a similar case, right? Your year 3 in Barry Odom. I just was kind of hoping for more out of the secondary. But I'll be honest, though. McLaughlin is at the right place at the right time. I've been impressed with McLaughlin. I think Brinney is starting to find his place in this defense. And they've been without Catalon and Slusher. That is something you've got to take into consideration. But again, if you're making any changes, if you're making any moves, I say wait till A&M. That's what I say. I have been blown away by Drew Sanders, but not really though. I mean, I bragged about this kid all off season and then through fall camp as I got to see him up close and personal. This dude is going to be good. Did not expect him to get off to this kind of start, though. He has been fantastic. Walter Camp, Player of the Week, SEC Defensive Player of the Week, 11 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, he was flying all over the field, man. Bumper Pool's been great, too. He was SEC Defensive Player of the Week, week 1. Preseason All-SEC, 3rd-team All-American, 2nd-team All-SEC in 2021 after making a team best 125 tackles. We know he's chasing after the career tackle record, which is held by Tony Bua, I believe. Been impressed on both sides of the ball. I really have. I think the offense is headed in a great direction. Linebackers and D-line is better than last year. I think so far. Yes, so far they are. Kate says, I don't think we have to surprise folks. We're just going to pound them into the ground all freaking year long. Gosh darn it, I agree. That's all you have to do. I think last week you could have gotten away, and DJ Williams said this yesterday, they could have ran every play. They could have ran the ball on every snap, and they would have been just fine. And that was the same thing, I think, against Cincinnati, too. Our linebacker crew has got to be at least top 3 in the country, right? I don't know. I haven't watched other linebackers, but I've been blown away by their performance. I really have. The secondary right now seems to be the only place where Arkansas's got some issues. And again, I think with Brinney, McLaughlin, getting Slusher back, getting these guys settled into their new, to their new challenges and to their new spots, being the guy. I say new spots, being the guy instead of being behind the guy, getting settled in matters. Question is, how much do you want to risk hurting them this weekend? We're at 35 likes. Can we break 40 likes? Can we do it? I think we can. Remember, if you guys want in on the sticker action, they are. Here's my hand, by the way. This is how big they are. Okay, they don't take up. I mean, I've got 2 on the back of my little Kia, and they don't take up as much room as you'd think. But if you want in on the action, join Patreon. Send me your mailing address. We aren't playing as much zone as last year, says Trenton Burke. We'll have some growing pains early because we're going man-to-man to the outside. Missouri State is just so slow. They're really slow on defense. KJ Jefferson outweighs, I think it's both their DNs and all their linebackers, by the way. Missouri State is just so slow on both sides of the ball. This game is over by half. And come out healthy with the backups getting quality reps. I think that's probably how this thing plays out. I do. I think they end up four tutties, four touchdown drives, maybe a field goal in there or something. And then hopefully they're able to contain what Petrino can do on offense. Wreck your motorcycle on that like button. Oh, with the blonde on the back of the bike. I'm so excited for tomorrow night, y'all. I'm so excited. Not just for the game. Yeah, the game's going to be wild. I have no idea what that reception's going to be like. And here's the other thing. You're already booing the other team when they come out of the tunnel. I mean, I don't know. I just have no idea how the crowd's going to react tomorrow. 39 likes. Close to 100 people in here. Remember, like, share, subscribe. I know the Ram hat triggers you guys. I don't have a hog hat. I don't have one. This is the only ball cap I have, okay? And I didn't want to I don't want to mess with the hair. Don't touch the hair. How many fans show up wearing neck braces? My God, it's we're going to have to get a rough estimate. There's no way. It'd be funny if they had the people that scan your tickets. It would be funny if they had them like with a little sheet with pen and paper, and they just mark neck brace 1, that would be great. Get an actual count. We got to get Ty a hat. No, I like my hat, and it's also my lucky hat. Arkansas's 2-0 with this hat. Tusky, great comment. What did he say? What did Tusky say? Uh-oh. I don't know if I want to read it. Tanner get beat up by the mistress's boyfriend. Like the button. You mean, sir. Also loved you on Full House. Yeah. So everyone got their scores in. If you're asking how to join Patreon, or you're afraid to ask, you don't want to be embarrassed. I get it. But you just click, there's a little button right next to the it's right next to the title of the video, Arkansas Razorbacks versus Missouri State Bears pre-snap. To the right, there's this little downward pointing arrow. You click that, and Patreon is the second thing there. It's underneath Tuss Talk with Ty Discord. It's right above the PayPal donate link there. If you look in between there, it's kind of sandwiched in between. If you want to join. Look at that, 45 likes. You guys are all-stars. Breaking news, Petrino spotted riding Harley into town. That's what he's going to do tomorrow, leading the team bus. He's going to be on a bike. God, I would applaud him if he were to do something like that. I would applaud him for embracing it. Treat it like a wrestler, like someone on the old school Attitude Era. Treat it like that, and then he walks out onto the field like Jim McMahon or something. Embrace it, man. If you're going to be the villain, and I don't think he wants to be the villain. I really do believe he's sincere about, his time here and loving it here and talking about how well we accepted him and everything, which I think is all true. But, man, why not embrace the villain aspect of all this? Just could you imagine him? If you guys haven't seen the Vince McMahon walkout, just go Google it, go YouTube it. Pull it up on the Google, as Arky56 would tell me. The way you just embrace the villain role, man. I would love it. What if he was wearing a neck brace tomorrow? It won't happen, but God, honestly, I would he'd get a cap tip from me for sure. So that would be epic. It would be fantastic. Petrino comes out in a blonde wig. All right. I do appreciate you guys. Tonight, we're going to work on getting the rest of these printed out. I cannot make up my mind if I'm going to a high school game around here or not. I need to get some footage for Hogville. Can't make up my mind, or if I want to stay back and get some other stuff done around here, get some more of this, help my wife out with more of this stuff. Then again, it's not like I'll be out all night, but yeah, want to get all that caught up. I promise, if he rode in on a Harley, the fans would definitely cheer him on. Yeah, they would love it. They would love it. Don't get me wrong. You get a few of those fans, they're like, "Oh, that's in poor taste." Blah 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 blah. And he wouldn't do it out of respect to his wife. Like, right? We do have to acknowledge that portion of it, right? I think it was a painful moment in his time, and I'm trying to be respectful to that. But I think I think, from what I understand, he's moved on from that. He's done what he's needed to do, and he seems to me like a guy that is he's just enjoying, and he's enjoying life and having a good time based on watching him talk to the media. Now that could all be a front, I don't know, but at the same time, why not also just for the spectacle of it all, embrace the villain, embrace the villainy side of it, right? The bad guy angle. But fans would love it, and he knows that. Bobby Petrino was at Little Rock Touchdown Club in 2019, cried and said, I thought that was 2019? Golly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He choked up, and I believe him. I believe him when he says that, when he apologized. I do. Dudley Dawson buys it. There's some other folks I've talked with, media people who buy it, who say, you know what, I don't think that was an act. So, BYU game, the quarterback threw left to the wide receiver. Yeah, we'll get to BYU when that we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That'll be a fascinating game. That is one that has me concerned greatly. They're a pretty good team. They certainly look to be a good team right now. We'll see if they stay that way as the year goes on. Same with Arkansas, right? Your top 10. Where are they going to be when they roll into when they go to BYU? What's the outlook there, right? Make sure you guys, if you haven't, I want to hit 50 likes before I log off here. Let's hit 50 likes. Can we do it? We're at 48. Make sure you share the content. Check out all the links provided for you down below. If you haven't liked the stream, I don't want to log off till I hit 50. I just need 2. Dos Mas. 49. There we go. 50. There you go. You can't hate Petrino for okay. All right. Woo pig, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Or maybe tomorrow at halftime. I'm sure I might entertain doing a halftime show here tomorrow. One way or another, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Go Hogs.